What is up, guys? Ravaged here with a new video, and today it's time for Ravaged round day number 3. The Sylvan squad. This is the Wilder faction, actually, supported by Rainier and Dynel. Surprisingly enough, Dynel really doesn't play a role this time. Rainier once again important, and it is a bit of a crazy one. Take a look at that. I'm at 102.5 billion. I'm on place 3. Place 1 is at 103.3 billion. So yeah, it's all rather close together this time. And well, so every little bit is important, and I seem to have found a pretty decent team, so that is something I want to show you guys, because if we just look at my results, we can see 101, well, it's 97, 102, 102, 94, so this was like the one time when I really found the team that I like. So let's take a look at this team. So we have 4 more attacks. Thought I save some up in case I have to re-record something. What we do here is we use Lenya. If you don't own Lenya, apparently for most people she's not worth using if you don't have her at Mythic Plus at least, with the +5, which grants her the increase in crit damage. So maybe in that case, maybe use Florabelle if you have her. We have Parisa in here basically as main damage dealer for the first team. And then, kind of surprising, Luca is there. She has a ton of buffs. She has like this attack speed buff, she has like the meteor reducing fist defense, and I have suboptimal charms for her, so that is a bit of a problem. If you don't have Heaven on this first one, you might struggle. You don't really need the charms, though it would be nice, but if you don't have Heaven at all for this one, yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, because this one relies on survivability entirely on Heaven. Second one, we find the heavy hitters Brian and of course Lily May. You can use Iron instead of Damien, but I would recommend Damien. It does in general a little bit better for me. And yeah, let's take a look at least the first fight. So for the first team, because we can see some things there. Second one, rather unspectacular. So they get hit quite hard, but we have Heaven in here, of course, dispelling debuffs, so I guess should also dispel the healing debuff the boss inflicts on your heroes, so that should also go. We have it right here, we should actually see it. Yeah, it goes away, so that actually makes it pretty easy for a team to survive. As long as you have the Heaven, it should work out really well. Parisa here spamming ults worked a little bit better for me with Resonating Spell. The first iteration of this team and the first graphic I saw from Metal didn't include that. But spamming the ults from Parisa, we at least have 2 hero enemies on the board at some points. Seems to be the best way to go forward with it. Lenya surviving fairly well there on the Rainier heals. We can see all the heal spam. Getting kind of close, we lost the Luca right there, 25 seconds. So a bit of a bad RNG attempt over here, bad timing with the Heaven ult. And yeah, can happen on this boss. Probably not going to be one of our best attempts. I reckon this is going to be about around, definitely below 100 billion right here. So we are on a bit of a bad RNG, going to skip the last 3 seconds of this. And where did we land in the end? Oh, 102 billion. Okay, can only theorize how much that would have been if the Luca didn't die. But we see not really insane damage, but not too bad at all. It's mostly for the buffs. I tried one thing that I mean, like if you look at this team, the first thing that you really think when you what you want to do is like remove the support hero from the buff tile and place our Lenya on there, like go like this. But surprisingly enough, doesn't really help. Doesn't really help. Not at all. Even if we would skip out on the teleport right here, which would be an option to make like I get a little bit less hit, because we really don't want to teleport her over. We could teleport even, maybe do something like this. But somehow wasn't worth it. We can try it one single time. Maybe it's going to be interesting, but I doubt it. Makes a little bit better use of the buffs, I guess. But didn't beat at least the high score, and doesn't seem to do it. Yeah, 95 billion right now. Not really a huge damage increase on our damage from our Lenya. 14 billion. Usually it's a 40% increase, I think it was, for the hero, but we can compare the 2 scores. There we got 13.5 and the other one 14. So it seems like really isn't too much of an increase. But still a very, very interesting team nonetheless. So, what do you need for this? Which charms are important? Which ones do you really want? So, let's do it one more time before we get into this. Definitely Lily May, obviously. I mean, Lily May is key hero for our second team, does a ton of damage. And then mostly we want to take a look at which heroes do a lot of damage. Starting off, we have Parisa, and we have Lenya, if you have her in here. I tried to get Leica, but as I said, I have the wrong charms, but at least I got some on there. And then we have Lily May and Brian. Those are really the most important charms that you want to get. And if we take a look at that, we once again, of course, we have pretty much perfect charms on them for the moment. For her, we definitely go with the sorcery set. Ultimate power, skill power. Recommended is attack crit, which is not a bad set, but overall does a lot less damage, at least from the testing that we did. Then we also, of course, have our other Wilder heroes. Parisa right now on my account with the Swift set, haste attack speed, more attacks, always good. And then we have Brian, which we recently set up during a live stream, kind of fancy because we wanted to test Hugin. So there we go at the moment with the Ruthless set, crit attack speed, works fairly well. And then last but not least, we also got the Lenya charms. Here they just recommend the Butcher set as crit damage boost, so fairly static. I mean, she is a crit hero after all. So those are like your most important charms. Let's get into like one thing where I think I could improve my team a fair bit. So like the thing is, if you have Leica, I had 2 charms and I had exactly enough to make one. So I built the Ruthless set, which is crit attack speed. I thought, okay, it's something. It's not bad. They recommend haste skill power, and that is actually the one that I wanted to have, but I don't have a single one of those. This would have been kind of interesting because it actually increases the attack speed buff she gives to your heroes every 12 seconds. So we would have gone from 40 to 65, which in my opinion, or at least in my idea, should probably be enough for me to be place 1, which is kind of interesting. It now stands and falls with Leica on my team, but like, yeah, every small increase that you can get to your team's damage can really bring you a whole lot of places forward on this. And in my case, it's not a whole lot, but it might have been place 1, so fairly interesting. We have the Fizz Death reduction, which is not too important on the first one, but I guess we have Lenya in there, so that's something. Parisa is more of a magic damage dealer. But it would help for Lenya, and we would get quite a bit of Fizz damage reduction. At least we would get it for a longer duration here. So would have been good as well. In terms of the upgrades, not really huge support there to upgrade her higher. But yeah, that is about what I think. We don't really need too many others. There is once again a graphic by Metal. And if you've watched the recent videos, you already know them. He makes those great graphics with all like the teams in there. And this time around, I think this season he found really a perfect way to display this. So let's zoom a little bit in so I can show you. So this time around, he didn't really do multiple teams. We saw that the smaller one included 2 completely separate teams, but he displayed multiple options there. We have like this one option, which is fairly similar, but it replaces Lenya with Florabelle and uses Ulmus on this tile. I made the version of this one using the Hewen on slot 1. We saw that on that's not slot 1, but on the middle slot. We have Rainier, we have Lenya, and we have Parisa. And then he wrote them down like in the priority for Wilder. And I don't necessarily agree with that, I have to say. I tried Ulmus, I tried Florabelle, both in the slot. For me, this definitely worked best with Leica. So the third option here, and usually he listed that in order of priority. I don't know if he did that this time, I just assume it is. And yeah, Leica was the last one. For me, it worked best. So maybe something to note, try out Leica, give her a try if you own her. Then the artifacts, resonating spell, completely agree. The first iteration of this graphic put Parisa to the left side, which I don't think is a good idea. Should be resonating spell and her on the right side. That is perfect for me. Also, she should get the Rainier buff, the Rainier attack buff for the hero behind him. That is very important for the second team. Yeah, really Brian and Lily May, and then either Iron or Damien. I don't think they are too different, honestly. The thing is, the overall performance of the team is roughly the same. With Damien, you have a little bit more heal, you have a little bit more haste buff, but Iron does a little bit more damage, and also some magic defense debuff, which of course plays into the cards of Brian. So it tends to work out either way. Personally, I preferred using Damien, had some better attempts with that. So that is really all for that one. Once again, I will link you that graphic down below in the description, and I will also put you the charm guide that you should already know from the last videos, where you will find the perfect charm for every single hero. I will also link that down below so that you have all the necessary resources for that team. Keep in mind, with the daily loot, you will get Bronco Essence so that you can upgrade your charms every single day, and you should make use of it to guarantee that you get a high position every single day throughout the coming days. And definitely don't waste those resources. Do all your attacks so that you can get all of the loot that is possible from there. So that being said, I hope this video helped you a little bit in achieving a high rank. I hope the recent ones have. I've made one for the Graveborn and for the Mauler one, if you haven't seen them already. I will update those as well. And I mean, we are going to see this cycle of the squads repeating, at least I think 3 more times, so you will have a lot of opportunities to perfect your team during that time. With that, I wish you a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.